right? Oh.
Tuesday night, 8 p.m., ready to invest in yourself, like, respect.
You could be doing a lot of other things right now, but you decided to hop on here and invest into your future.
So let us know, where are you from? What's your name? Let us see it in the comments. Hey, Naz, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ashley, what's up, Ashley? We are so glad that you're here. We're just waiting a couple minutes to let everybody hop on. Hey, Heather from Dallas. Okay.
Wow.
We national.
Yes.
We national.
Dallas is a couple hours behind us, right?
I think they're just an hour. So it's 7 p.m.
1 hour.
Heather, thank you for joining us. So happy to have you. Matt, what's up, bro? Love you, man.
Baltimore County.
In here. Everybody else. That was like 5 comments. It's like 20 people in here.
30, yeah.
T-Views, hey. Jonathan Douglas, what's up, bro?
He's from Baltimore as well.
Joe Views.
Montreal. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm like struggling.
Wait, Montreal, that's in
Canada, yeah.
Oh, Canada.
Welcome, brothers and sisters up north.
That's dope. We're just letting a few people join. We're trying to let some more people hop in here.
Yeah.
We had over 100 people register, y'all. So it's going to be a good night. If y'all ready, we ready. We going to get it in. Glenn Davis, what's up, man? Nia Parks.
Hey.
Kiana, what's up?
She's from Toronto. She's from Canada, too. I love it.
Nemi from San Diego. I wish I was in San Diego.
Oh, my goodness.
Matiza, what's up?
Rachel
and Moko. Lola Bay.
Abigail, okay.
What's up?
Have you ever been to Canada?
No, you know I ain't been to Canada.
It's cold out there.
All right. Do you want to start? Are you going to wait a few more minutes?
Yeah, we're just seeing everybody from BWI.
Olamide, what up? We're just letting some more people hop in here before we go live.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to share with y'all tonight, so we definitely want to make sure we're maximizing our time. We are going to get into a lot of information about how to take relationships to the next level, all that stuff. So we're excited. Cash Mill,
my guy, Cash.
Hey, Cash.
Sonia, I hope I said your name right.
Yes.
Forgive me if I did.
DC, okay.
Becca, I don't know if we shouted you out yet. What's up, fam?
Illinois.
Israel, my
guy. They're an hour behind us, too.
Love to see y'all on here. All right, so we're going to get started. Deandra, what's up? How you doing? We're going to get started, and then everybody can just catch up.
Yes.
I'm sure people are going to hop in when they can.
Absolutely.
Angelica, what's up, fam?
Hi.
All right, let's get into this. So, welcome to Unlock Your Dream Relationship. We are going to help you take the next step in your relationship journey tonight. Whether you're single, whether you're dating, whether you think you want to marry the person you're with, whether you're not sure, we got you covered.
Yeah.
And I said it when we first started. I'm going to say it again, and I'm probably going to say it later. We're so proud of everybody who's on here tonight, because if you take nothing else from tonight, we want you to take away the fact that in order to have a healthy relationship, no matter if it's dating, engagement, marriage, you have to intentionally put in the work.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get nothing else, please get that from tonight.
Yeah.
And you're already on a good start. So We're excited. It's going to be a good night. So we want to give a little context about who we are, because we're not going to assume that everybody watching this knows who we are. So my name is Tim. This is my beautiful wife, Pauline, and this is not the W Podcast. But we're so glad that you're here. Pauline and I, we've been married almost 4 years, starting in June 1st.
Yeah,
it'll be 4 years, which is crazy. We have a beautiful 1-year-old baby boy, and we love helping people take the next step in their relationship.
Yeah.
We actually been doing a dating group in some way, shape, or form since 2017.
Yeah.
And we've seen so many couples take the next step, whether it be engagement or marriage or other things. And it's just so exciting.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. No, it's been such a fun ride, and just to see our own journey and then to help others.
Absolutely. So we love y'all, and we're all about adding value to you. So we want to make sure that you get this exclusive bonus. Now, the only way to get this, you got to stay until the end tonight. So if you stay all the way until the end with us, we're going to give you 10 questions you must ask yourself before you get married. This is a free guide, completely free. We want to add that to you because honestly, you want to make sure that you're ready. A lot of times we figure out, like, are they the one?
Yeah.
But are you the one? Like, are you actually ready? And these 10 questions will truly help you prepare for that.
Yeah.
So stay to the end and we'll make sure you get that absolutely free. All right. So here is how you're going to get the most out of today. There's 3 ways. Number 1, you have to lock in. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of distractions in this world right now. There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's NFL drafts on tonight, NBA playoffs, fellas.
So many things.
We want y'all to make sure you lock into this. We're not going to be here long. We just got a little bit of time with y'all tonight, but we want to make sure you get everything out of it. Number 2, be honest. What does that mean? Some of the things we want to share tonight, you may already have heard before. Yeah. You may already know about it, but that doesn't mean you're applying it. That doesn't mean that you're actually doing it. So we want you to be honest with yourself. Are you actually doing the things that you know already? Yeah. And number 3, be open. We may share some things tonight that you've never heard of or considered. Just be open to it. All we ask, hey, if you disagree with us, go to God in prayer. Yeah. Like, Lord, Tim Pauline said this. They may be tripping. What do you think? And let him lead you, because ultimately his word is way better than ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're going to pray right now, because we do want godly relationships. If you didn't know that, you signed up tonight to have a godly relationship, and we're going to pray and invite him in this space. God, we just thank you for allowing us to have this moment. Yes. Lord, I pray that you allow everyone under the sound of my voice to take the next step in their relationship journey, to hear from you and to learn what it looks like to unlock their dream relationship. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So, Pauline and I are super big on clarity.
Yeah.
Like, we're team no surprises. So we want you to know if this webinar is for you, because we don't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
So this webinar is for you if you think the person you're dating is the one you're going to marry.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure it actually is the person that you should marry. Number 2, this webinar is for you if you're not sure if the person you're dating is not the one. And that is okay. Yeah. That's a good place to be, because you're in the right place to figure that out.
Absolutely.
And number 3, you want to have a healthy dating relationship one day. So you may be super single right now, and that's cool, because we're going to help give you the tools to be prepared for the next day. All right, who's this webinar not for?
Yeah, so along with the theme of us being clear and being honest, we want to be clear about who the webinar is not for, because we love everybody on here. We want the best for you all, but we want to be honest, because everything in here is not for everybody, right? So if you fall into one of these 3 categories, this webinar is not going to be the most beneficial for you. So first, if you're comfortable in your relationship, so if that means like, hey, I'm good, I don't want to learn, I don't want to grow, I'm good where I'm at, I'm really not interested in doing better or being better, then this webinar is not going to be helpful for you. Second category is if you really have no plans to date in the next 3 years. So that can mean, if you're completely single right now and you're like, I'm not looking to be in a committed relationship, I really just like doing my own thing, I like not being tied down, or whatever the case is. If that's you, we love you, but this is not going to be helpful for you, because this material tonight is designed for those who want to date. And who are looking to make their, that a part of their reality. And then the third group of people this webinar is not for is if you have no interest in a godly relationship. We really could have said if you have no interest in God being in your relationship, because this, again, our heart tonight is really to serve those who want more of God in their relationship and really in your entire life. So that's that.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get started right now. Everyone wants a healthy relationship. And the crazy thing is, everybody wants it, but why doesn't everybody have it?
Yeah.
Because if everybody wants it, then why everybody should have it.
Right.
So we want to break that down. There's 2 reasons that we believe most people do not have the dream relationship that they want. Now, we're not saying these are the only 2 reasons, but we're saying these 2 reasons primarily are what are causing people not to have their dream relationship. The first thing is this: we don't know what we should be doing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of practical wisdom that goes into having a relationship. And I think sometimes as Christians, we can get a little too spiritual, and we think if we just pray, if we just love God, then the relationship's going to be great.
Right.
That is not how this works. Yeah. You need to learn how to communicate. You need to learn how to forgive. Yeah. There's so many practical things that you need to know. Number 2, we've never seen a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
See, you need to have a clear vision for what a healthy marriage looks like in order to obtain one. And if you don't have that, we're going to walk you through tonight how to do that and what that looks like. And that's okay if you're there, but a lot of us, we grew up in homes where we didn't see a healthy relationship, and that may affect how we move forward. Yeah. So what does healthy dating look like?
Yeah. So over the past 5 years, as we mentioned, we've gotten to work with a lot of other couples in addition to our own kind of journey to marriage, and we've gotten to kind of see what that looks like, because as we all know, relationships are not black and white, right? It's not a simple formula, and that's really where we all get tripped up, is that I can't do, the exact thing my friend got and get the same results, right? So that's what we have really kind of developed a couple of strategies that we want to share with you all tonight about how to build that healthy relationship, or if you're not in a healthy relationship right now, to get vision for when that day comes.
Yeah. So there are 3 keys that you're going to need to unlock your dream relationship. And here's the thing. Most of us on this call have at least 20 plus years of unlearning to do.
Yeah.
Because we all grew up watching rom-coms. We all grew up watching Disney movies. Yeah. And there's so many different things that we have accepted, whether we know it or we don't, that is not really the key to having a godly relationship. The Bible says we have to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And a lot of times we have expectations of having a godly relationship, but we still have worldly mindsets that hold us back from being able to execute that. And we're going to change that for you tonight. Yes, Disney lied to us, y'all. So, number 1, you must intentionally prepare for marriage. You may be saying, yeah, I know that, but no, like, you must, like, I can't overemphasize this. Like, you really need to make that a focus, that just as much as you know what the latest song is, just as much as you're up on football, just as much as you got the latest fashion, you need to be intentionally preparing yourself for marriage.
Yeah. And it's so funny because we think about what does preparation really look like, because we may feel like, okay, yeah, like I prepared for this, but I prepared for that, but what intensity, right? Well, it makes me think back to when we were all younger, right? And if I were to poll everybody on the call tonight and ask, like, how old were you when you got your license? I'm sure some of you were 16 and a half, 17, 18, maybe even older. But a good amount of us here have our license, right? And it was something that you were really, really, really excited for. How do I know? Because like you, I was really, really looking forward to that time. When I was younger, you probably watched how your parents drove to kind of get tips from them. You, of course, I hope, read the book, for your permit before you sat down to take the written test. You probably even Googled some cars that you wanted to drive or that you wanted to buy one day when you got old enough, or whatever the case is. And you probably circled the date on your calendar when you could go take the test or retake it if you had to take it a couple of times. But either way, you prepared for that test, and it's because you were excited, right? And so many of us say that we're excited for marriage. A lot of us in the Christian community say we're excited to get married one day, but our actions actually prove that we're not excited, that we're actually scared, because we're not intentionally preparing for it. We're running away from environments and from Bible verses and different ways that we can prepare. We kind of feel like, oh, well, why should I have to prepare if it's going to be natural, if it's going to be the one, Mr. or Mrs. Right, I shouldn't have to prepare, right? But that's not how you take the approach with preparing for other practical areas of your life, right? So why should marriage, which is the second biggest decision of your life, why should that be any different?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you may be asking right now, okay, well, why do I need to prepare, Pauline? You just, this is supposed to be somebody who I click with, who, we get along really well, that God brings into my life, and all of those things will be true. But we wanted to share some research points with you here that actually prove why you should prepare and how it's going to make you or put you in a better position and set you up for success whenever that day comes.
And this is actual research, so we're not just saying we're not just telling you something. It's things that we've actually researched.
Yeah, and I mean, it's things that y'all could research too, and I'm sure some of you even have. And 3 of those, the 3 points that we want to pull out and share with you today are that you'll be happier in marriage when you prepare. You'll be stronger, not only as an individual, but your marriage itself will be stronger, and you'll also save time and money. And I know that if nothing else, that's a low-hanging fruit is to grab, saving time and money. And the reasons for that is usually people, when they prepare for a marriage, they are developing skills, communication skills, conflict management or conflict resolution that people really don't have unless they intentionally prepare for marriage. Because like Tim mentioned, we've all seen unhealthy examples of marriage in our families, on television, and culture, and we kind of adopt what we see, right? More is caught than taught. So we need to do intentional work to unlearn those things. And it makes us happier in marriage when we can have an argument and not bite each other's heads off. You know what I'm saying?
Not slamming doors.
Right, exactly. Like, those things are actually
throwing
not
hot grits
normal.
on people.
Wow, that's some Medea stuff right there. But that's a culture example, right? And then with us being stronger, it even shares here, the research example you guys can see on the screen is couples who prepare they have a stronger marriage. They can endure seasons of hardship better than other couples who don't prepare. Because guess what, y'all? Life happens. All of us have been alive for longer than 5 minutes to know that life happens. And life actually gets harder when you get married because the enemy does attack married couples. He doesn't like marriage or God-centered marriage because he knows how powerful it is. And then the other point here about saving time and money, when you actually prepare for marriage, when you go to premarital counseling and do premarital coaching and all of those, you do the legwork, honestly, beforehand, you actually can see, is this person really bad about it? Are they really bad about it? Are they going to be, somebody I can rely on, kind of what they say, like shooting with me in the gym type of thing? And a lot of times when couples do that work, they realize like, okay, this person isn't who I thought that they were. Not that they're not a bad person, but you want to make sure that dating is truly a time where you are evaluating, is this person who I need in a partner, and am I who they need? And it's better to find that out on the front end than on the back end of the aisle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even to take it a little bit further, because you might be sitting here and saying, like, okay, Pauline, like you just gave me all these reasons why I should do premarital counseling, and I'm gonna do it when it's my time, but I'm just dating right now. Like, why are you talking to me about this now? And there's 2 reasons for that. The big reason is because pre-engagement counseling and coaching really makes a huge difference. The ring actually blinds us, y'all. A lot of times when we get the ring and we get engaged, especially of us girls who've been praying and dreaming, for this time when we get proposed to, especially now with social media, like proposals are this huge, huge dramatic event.
Well, can I even say this? I feel like even now in 2022, the ring can blind you, but also just dating and putting it on your Instagram can make it harder too.
Yeah.
Because once you put it on Instagram, now you're nervous if people are going to know that I broke up with somebody. It just gets more complicated. Yeah,
it's definitely complex. So you want to make sure that you are in a safe place, that you are not you're not trying to evaluate, is this person best for me at the wrong time? Because couples who do pre-engagement coaching and counseling, research shows that they add another layer of security to their marriage if it gets to that point. And that's another reason why we're big advocates for that. And we've actually seen the results that produced because of that. So you want to make sure that you're not, putting pressure on yourself, because when you are engaged, I remember when we were engaged, there's a lot going on. You're planning a wedding, your families are involved, there's money, there's down payments, there's deposits. You kind of feel like, man, even if there's red flags coming up, but I'm too scared.
I put down too much money.
Exactly. Like it's binding, you feel like, we're engaged, my family expects me to marry this person. What am I going to do? But y'all, it's much better for you to have a broken engagement than it is for you to have a broken marriage. So that's why, but even to kind of eliminate that pressure, it's been proven that pre-engagement counseling and pre-engagement coaching benefits a couple, and it allows you to ask those intentional questions, because love blinds us. We've all been swooned and kind of in that honeymoon phase, and you're not actually asking the questions that you need to ask.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. So the first point to unlocking your key or your dream relationship was you must intentionally prepare. The second point is you must choose the right person. Because here's the thing. I've heard it said like this: who you marry is the second most influential decision you'll make after accepting Jesus. And that's because they literally impact directly every area of your life.
Right.
It's not a joke. Like, if they lose their job, that affects you.
Right.
If they stop believing in God, that affects you.
Right.
If they yell at your kids, that affects you. You got to clean that up. So
right.
It's so important to choose right. And when you're dating, we want you to remember, you haven't actually chosen yet.
Right.
When you're dating, think of it like going shopping.
Yeah.
You have a lot of things in your cart. Some of you are guilty of this. Some of you will have like 200 items in your cart. You know you ain't buying none of that. So dating's the same way. You have someone in the cart, but you haven't made a purchase yet, and that's okay, because dating is an evaluation stage. And we want to make sure that you evaluate well. Yes, that's just so key.
You're right. So you may asking, all right, like that sounds good, but how do I choose well? Like, it's not easy what you just said, and we totally understand that. And there are 3 points here that are backed by research again of kind of proof on how to choose well. So the first one is to date in community. Tim just mentioned that, you know, who you choose to marry is the second most influential or important decision in your life after deciding or not deciding to follow Christ. So you don't want to make that decision by yourself, right? And it's even proven here that people who make that decision within community, you know, those community environments like a school, grad school, when you have a lot of people around you that can say, hey, I think that, you know, this person would be good for you, or I like this about them, or I don't. You have other input. And that's proven to help people choose better. Also using referrals. If you think about, you know, applying for a job, if any of you are hiring managers or you've been involved in the hiring process before, you call candidates referrals or their references to see like, hey, is this person really who they say they are? Because guess what, y'all? People lie, and people send their representatives. You know, when you're dating them, they put their best foot forward. They say all the right things because they're trying to trick you. And we've all done it. We all, you know, there's things that you don't get access to or privilege to somebody when you're dating them because you're trying to impress them. And there's not anything wrong with that. But you want to make sure that who you're dating is authentic. So you want to make sure you're using those referrals. And a lot of couples, actually 63%, actually met their spouse through a friend or through a mutual friend. So that just goes to show how effective it can be to lean on your friends. Now, we won't talk about, you know, how good are your friends. That's not why we're here tonight. But that is something that you want to do.
Well, we can attest to this statistic because even though we met each other without other people recommended us dating before we considered each other. So we technically was a referral.
Yeah, and sometimes some of y'all, like, your friends will tell you, oh, you should look at this guy or that guy. And you're like, no, he's like a brother to me. And you friends on him very, very quickly. And, you know, just be careful with those types of things. So how do you choose well? Dating community, use referrals, and then be sober-minded. So this research point is talking about meeting people in bars. And it just kind of goes to show talking about physical sober-mindedness or physical soberness. But you also want to make sure that you're being sober-minded emotionally and spiritually as well. And using referrals and dating in community helps you to choose well. Because again, you don't want to trust yourself too much. You shouldn't be the only one who thinks your partner is incredible or that the person that you want to date is incredible. Other people should think that too. So being sober-minded and making sure that you don't trust yourself too much is going to help you choose really well.
Yeah, that is really good. So 3 keys to unlocking your dream relationship. Number 1 was that you must intentionally prepare for dating. Number 2 was that you must choose the right person. And number 3, you must get biblical information. See, as Christians, the Bible is our guide for every area of our life. But the problem is many of us don't know our Bible well enough to be able to use the Bible when we actually need it.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to say dating or any other cultural topic is relevant when we don't know what the Word of God actually says. Yeah. And we got y'all tonight. We're going to go into what does the Bible actually say about dating?
Right. So what does the Bible say about dating? That's everyone's question. That's one of my questions that I had when we were in the dating phase, or kind of, and even something that I still bring up to the Lord now always. And y'all, we're going to be honest with you because we feel like that's who we are. We're going to be honest. Technically, the Bible doesn't say anything about dating.
dating is not in the Bible.
That word is not in the Bible, right? And some people, because of that, they like to say courting or like, okay, we're pursuing one another. Whatever the case is, it's all pre-marriage stuff, right? It's like kind of the phase between friendship and marriage. And we couldn't agree with y'all more who think like, oh my gosh, there's not enough material or information out there. That's actually why we exist, is to help fill that gap. And it's not a gap that we can fill, on our own. But we did want to share with you a couple of points and a couple of verses from the Bible that do help you with dating. Because even though that word is not in the Bible does speak about a lot of factors and tips that we can use in dating. Because the truth is, y'all, God does care about the dating phase. He is not alone, leaving you alone as you're trying to figure it out. He cares. He really, really, really does. And he's in the dating process with us. So 3 points about, what things you can pull from the Bible when it comes to dating is it teaches us how to treat one another and how to treat ourselves. It teaches us how to view marriage correctly. Because again, back to the point of Disney lied to us, we have a lot of unlearning to do, but we need to replace what we're taking out of our minds and replace it with the truth and replace it with health. And the Bible also teaches us how to make wise choices. So the first point is really, really important because this verse tells us, we can't love another person well, whether it be a friend, but specifically we're talking about a dating partner. We can't love them well if we first don't love ourselves well. And this is why we're big advocates of a single season. So if you are on here and you're single, we're so proud of you and so happy for you. And it is such a sacred season. I'm sure you're like sick of hearing that, but it's true. It's something that, you really want to take that time to learn how to love yourself so that you can love somebody else well one day. We've even seen it in the reverse. Y'all have seen it too. Like if somebody who comes from an abusive relationship or an abusive home or whatever the case is, people really tolerate the love that they feel that they deserve. And that's some movie quote. I forget what movie it's from, but it's so true. And this verse speaks to that. So you want to make sure that before you get into a dating relationship that you love you well, because you're going to teach your partner how to love you based on how you love yourself. And you're not going to be able to love them the way that the Lord wants you to love them if you don't first count yourself worthy and honored and valued the same way that God does. And then the second point here of how to view marriage correctly. Again, the Lord explains in this verse about how the relationship between a man and a wife is reflective and mirrors the relationship that God has with the church. And that's not what the world tells us, right? The world tells us that I'm going to be here as long as it's convenient for me. As soon as you mess up, I'm out. Those marriage vows are just something cute that we said on that day, but I'm not really taking to heart, what that means. And that's the exact opposite, y'all, of what God does for his church, right? Even when we turn our back on him, he is faithful. He's faithful to us, even and when we essentially spit in his face, and he laid his life down for us while we were yet sinners. Christ died for us. And that's the same love that we're supposed to not just give to our spouse, but to give to others. And it is so hard. But that's how we have to, remind ourselves of what marriage really looks like. And that also helps us to set ourselves up for dating, because dating sometimes feels like, okay, well, you're just here to serve me. Absolutely not. Yes, you deserve to be treated like a queen. Yes, you deserve to be treated like a king. But even more than that, it's your job to serve and to give. And then the third point here about how to make wise choices. My dad used to always say, and still says, your life is made up of a million choices that you make, which is so true. And that's so true with dating as well. It's not just about making choices about who should I date, when should we date, what mentor should I have, what boundaries should we have. It's a lot of small decisions. And the Bible talks about wisdom and how seriously we need to pursue that. And again, you all are doing a great job of that by jumping on here tonight and seeking out wisdom and trying to figure out, what is best for you. Counsel is one way that we can do that the Bible instructs for us. So as we are kind of figure out, how do I date in a godly way? How do I prepare for marriage? The Bible does walk us through not just specific instances or answers, but just the approach that we can take to get those answers.
Yeah, that's good. Now, we want to be transparent with y'all. One of the things that we love, and let me just go back to that picture real quick. Oh, so this picture is from 2016. And we just want to be vulnerable because we believe that transparency helps transformation break out. So you can't really have transformation if you don't have someone being transparent to show you the way. And we truly believe that we did not have it all together. We still don't have it all together, but we really didn't know what we was doing in that picture. like I said, this is from 2016, and we truly wanted to have a godly dating relationship. But like I said earlier, we had too many worldly mindsets that prevented us from truly walking that out. See, in this picture, Pauline, before she started dating me, she actually had a thing where she did not want to kiss another man until she was married. So she didn't have another kiss until her wedding day. Now, your boy came along and said, ha!
He literally laughed at me.
You crazy. You tripping. I ain't about to do that. But see, here's the thing. And we're not getting into should Christians kiss or not. That's a whole different video. But what I am saying is I came into it with, well, we're dating. So of course I can kiss you. Like, that's not even a thing to consider. But I didn't realize that we were going to be dating for 2.5 years plus engagement in that time. So if we're going to be dating that long and we're kissing the way we was kissing, there's no way we were going to sustain that to have a godly relationship and ultimately make it to purity on our wedding day. And for us, that was the number one goal. So that's why we ended up not kissing anymore after 6 months of dating. But that was hard because I came in with a worldly mindset that the person I'm dating, honestly, is mine. And that ain't really it. And another thing about this picture, and I'll go back to it, was we didn't have any community. So there may be some people on here right now that's dating, and you may be the only people you know trying to date in a godly way.
Yeah.
There's so many people who are in that situation where they're looking for friends that are dating in a godly way, and you just don't have that. And then also in this picture, we didn't know how to use mentors. So we had people in our life who were ahead of us, who cared about us, but we didn't know how to be honest with them. We didn't know how to share questions, and we didn't know if they cared.
Yeah.
And after a lot of failure and perseverance, we eventually got engaged and we landed here. Dream outcome. Everybody wants to be married, right? This was one of the happiest days of our lives, and it was such a great day. But you know what is sad, honestly, to me, is that millions of couples have had this same picture, but only 50% of them are still married. Because a lot of people learn how to get married, but they don't know how to stay married.
Lord.
And we don't want that for you. We don't want you to rush to get married, rush to have a great wedding day, and then 5 years later, 2 years later, 10 years later, you end up getting divorced.
Yeah.
And that's no shade on anybody who is divorced or has been divorced. But if you don't have to go through that, why put yourself through that?
Right.
So you have 3 options. If you listen to this tonight, first of all, if you're still here, respect. And as I mentioned earlier, some of y'all dropped on late. At the end of this, we're going to share a free guide, 10 questions you must ask yourself before you get married. So definitely stay on to make sure you get that completely
And we're also going to have Q&A at the end.
Yeah, we will have Q&A at the end. So you can honestly start putting your questions in. But you have 3 options. You can do nothing, and you can continue to be stuck where you are and unsure of how to date and what to do well. Number 2 is you could do it alone. And you could try to do godly dating without community. You could try to do it without guidance. And number 3, and I hope that this is most of you on here tonight, you can choose to get help. You can say, you know what? I'm no longer going to try to do this on my own. I'm going to partner and look for resources that help me date in a godly way. And if that's you, I'm so excited because Pauline and I have something that we think will be a blessing to your life. We want to officially introduce Just Dating University, the blueprint for godly dating. Listen, we are so excited for this. Just Dating University is an intentionally biblically based relationship course where you will go closer to God, closer to your partner, and closer in community. Now, we got a lot of single people in here. Don't worry. Don't click off. We got something just for you that we'll share in a few minutes. But for those dating, this is for you.
Yeah.
And we've helped so many people in the past 5 years that are in a space just like you date, that are looking to find other godly couples like them, that are looking, hey, what boundaries should I have? Hey, when should I get engaged? Hey, what does emotional intimacy look like? Like, how do you actually do that with your partner? And we want to help you do that. Now, in 75 days, you will be 100% confident that the person you are dating is who you should marry or not. Again, this is for our dating couples, singles. Don't worry, we got y'all at the end. But for our dating couples, we guarantee that if you rock with us and you take the time to learn all the information we're teaching and take it seriously, in 75 days, you'll be confident.
Yeah.
I got no
100%.
issue saying that. And why can we be confident saying that? Because we've done this before.
Yeah.
We've done this time and time and time again. We have helped so many couples through this process. And if you enroll, we promise that you will be able to do this. So we said this earlier, we're big on clarity, y'all. Yeah. So who is JDU for? And again, singles, we got y'all, don't worry. JDU is for couples who are newly dating or have been together for a while. Because here's the thing, whether you just got together or whether you've been dating for a while, we all need to learn, one, how to take the next step. We all need to learn what the best next steps are. And we all need to learn, is this person really who I should be dating? And we want to help get you there. Number two, it's for couples who have made mistakes but want to improve. Because let's be honest, y'all, Christian dating is hard. Yeah. And when I say mistakes, I mean sexual sin. I mean, you don't know how to forgive. I mean, you've done something in your relationship where you think you're worthless or your relationship's worthless or it's over. We have helped couples walk through that before, and we want to do it with you. And number three, JDU is for you. If you're a couple who's looking for godly friends, you may have been on here tonight like Pauline and Tim. I already know everything y'all said. Yeah. Tonight. You ain't teach me nothing new. But you are looking for other godly dating couples to be friends with and do this season with you. And we will provide you a space for that. Yeah. Now, Pauline's going to tell you who JDU is not for. Because again, we don't want to waste your time. Yeah, exactly. Because some of you all are on here tonight, or if you're listening to the replay, the JDU is not for you, and that's okay. We're so glad that you're here, but we do want to be honest because we want this investment to be for you to take it when it's the best time for you in your life. So a couple of groups that we want to call out and just let you know, hey, maybe it's okay if it's not for you right now. The first one is for those who are not ready for marriage in 2 to 4 years. Now, does that mean that you currently have a bae and have boyfriend and girlfriend? No, but it means that if the opportunity came along, you would definitely be down to get married. You would want that. Yeah. And for our couples, that means like even if you just started dating yesterday, you're like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to marry this person because I'm still getting to know them. But, if everything works out, I would absolutely be interested in getting married. The second group of people that we want to call out, who it's not ready for, or for those who don't care about honoring God in their relationship. So again, JDU, really everything that we do is to honor God. And if that's not important to you, then this course is not going to be fun. It's just not going to be fun. And then for those who don't value community, we're huge on community. Community has transformed our lives and our relationships. And the Bible is so clear about the importance of it. So if you are not interested in people pouring into you, people encouraging you, people correcting you, and when I say correct, I don't mean it in that harsh way, but people giving you suggestions, recommendations, those types of things, and then also giving it to others. If that's not something you're willing to do, then it's not going to be a fun time for you. So what is inside of JDU? Module 1, and let me just say this, JDU has 3 different modules, and you can think of modules as chapters, 3 different chapters to this course. And the first module is going to be the foundation of a godly relationship. And in this module, you're going to learn how to strengthen your friendships with your partner and those around you. Because here's the thing, friendships are super important. You know what's crazy to me? People think they can be terrible friends, but be a good spouse. Oh, Lord. That ain't gonna rock. Number 2, you're gonna learn how to prioritize your personal needs through appropriate boundaries. Y'all, if you want to be in a godly relationship, you must have boundaries, non-negotiable. And number 3, what you'll learn in module 1, the foundation of a godly relationship, you will learn how to gain the wisdom you need to be successful through mentorship and community. Because mentorship is crucial. Yeah. Mentors help us grow further, faster, and go further faster. So you want to make sure that you know how to do that. The second module will be the framework of a godly relationship. So think about a house. You got the foundation, but then when you're building a house, you have the foundation or the framework, of the house. So module 2 is the framework. This is where we get practical, y'all. Yeah. We're going to give you the tools to have effective and healthy conflict. Because some of you on here may think that conflict is a bad thing. Yeah. Conflict, honestly, if a couple came to us and said, hey, we've never argued, we'll say that is not good. Like, that does not impress us, because 2 people should never agree on every single thing. It's just not possible. Yeah. Number 2, the second thing you'll learn is identifying your strengths and how they pair with your partners. Because here's the thing. Pauline and I are different. You and whoever you're dating, you're different people. And you need to make sure you know how to maximize your strengths. How do I take what I have and take what they have and make it something that can transform our lives in the world? Yeah. And number 3, we're going to teach you how to learn how to ask the right questions to connect on a deeper level. See, Emotional intimacy is something that often gets overlooked in Christian
people
dating.
Just don't know what it is.
Right, because we focus so much on physical intimacy, especially in Christianity. Oh, I just want to have sex. I just want to get married so I don't burn. Yeah. It's like, bro, like, sex if you don't have a strong emotional connection with your partner, this sex ain't going to be good anyway. So we got to get that right first. Right. Can I be honest with y'all? Yeah. I'm telling y'all, JDU is going to be good. The third thing that you're going to learn in JDU is the future of a godly relationship. Here you're going to learn how to involve your family in your dating process, even if they are not Christians. Even if they don't want to be interested in your relationship, we'll show you how to involve them, because family is important. Yeah. Family oftentimes is an indicator of where we've been. I remember me and Pauline were dating, and I got to go to her parents' house. I learned some things about Pauline I didn't know just by going to her parents' house and being around family. So it's so important to be around family. Number 2, learn the 4 practical areas you must discuss with your partner to prepare for engagement. So there's 4 things that you want to make sure you have down locked and strong before you get engaged. And number 3, you are going to learn how to determine when the best time for you to get engaged is. That is something that we are definitely going to make sure that you are all set for. Yeah. So all of this is going to be packaged within 9 video lessons. Now, this is a value of $497. Don't worry, y'all. That's not the price. Calm down. That's not the price. That's just the value of the 9 videos that contain those 3 modules. And you'll have 180-day access to this. Is there a cost for JDU? That's coming up. We got y'all. Mm-hmm. We just want to make sure you know exactly what you're getting, because the value in this is going to be crazy. 9 video lessons, 180 days access to all of those videos. You'll also get a digital workbook. This in and of itself is $197 value. In this workbook, you're going to get detailed video activities. So when we have those videos that we just showed, this workbook breaks down each video that we do. There's going to be reflection questions in there for yourself to be able to ask yourself what you learned from those videos. Yeah. And there's also going to be couple questions that you and your partner will be able to ask each other to grow your emotional intimacy.
Yeah. For those of you all who got the workbook for tonight, if you liked that, you'll love this. That's all I'll say.
It's next level. Yeah. And then there's also going to be prayers in there that you can pray and just grow your relationship with God based off of what we taught in that lesson. The other thing, JDU, there's so much stuff in here, y'all. Yeah. Can y'all tell we excited? We worked hard on this, y'all. Also, JDU will offer a weekly live Q&A with myself and Pauline. This is when you'll get to ask us anything, unfiltered and raw questions, and get live feedback in the moment. We also are going to have breakout sessions with guys and girls. And let me tell you, when we've done this in the past, that is one of the most valuable things that people have loved, is being able to get away from their boyfriend and get away from their girlfriend and just hang out with the fellas, just hang out with the girls. Because here's the thing. It's hard to be honest about where you really are.
Yeah, you don't get to be like, my boyfriend, he kind of stinks. Like, you're not going to say that in front of him. So it's a good place. Or we've had times you told me the guys like, yeah, my girlfriend, she's tripping. She wants me to do this and do that. What would y'all do? And they're all like, yeah, my girl, she did that too. But you can't do that in front of, your partner. Yeah.
So we also are going to give you access to a private Facebook community that is priceless, y'all. Like, there's no value in this. Like, to be able to meet other godly friends who are in the same season as you, I just can't put a price on it.
Yeah, because that's the problem with dating. The dating stage is like there's no ring, right? So a lot of times you don't know. Well, I don't know if somebody has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Like, how do I know that you're a girlfriend that I can confide in until I have that conversation with you? But here in the community, you're able to get on there and talk about things that with other people who, and honestly, across the world. And then we have some people from the UK. We have people from Canada on here to be able to relate and bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah, and singles. We haven't forgot about you. Just we got you. Hold on 1 second. So the total value of everything that we just described, honestly, is over $981. Again, that's not the price, but that is the value of everything you're going to get. But we're not done, because we love y'all. We got more. You also are going to get for free 9 couple question PDFs. Now, these couple questions are going to be based off of each lesson, where you're going to go deeper into the topics and ask your partner intentional questions. We have a couple that has told us that this is something that they still use from these we did over a year ago. And they're still using these questions to go deeper into their relationship.
Yeah. There's something that you take on date night with you, or if you're long distance, when you guys are on the phone or on FaceTime, whatever, to get to know each other better and have those conversations that you may feel like, oh, I want to know about this, but I just don't know how to bring it up. These guides help you guide you those important conversations.
Yeah, and we'll definitely answer all y'all questions at the end.
Yeah.
So we're also going to throw in 8 ways to thrive in a long distance relationship. This is a $97 value in and of itself. Here's the thing, y'all. You cannot, we're honest, in 2022, most people may be in a long distance relationship because they may meet online, they may move. So we want to make sure that you can thrive in that situation. And although we did not date long distance, we've been able to walk alongside a lot of couples and help them do it well. And we want to help you too, if that's the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
And we're also going to throw in the best approaches on dating with kids. This is an $87 value in and of itself. So this is a private recording that you'll get access to completely free. How do you start dating after divorce? How do you start dating when you have kids?
Yeah.
How do you introduce them to the right person? And how do you build a fun blended family? Because some of you may be dating and have kids, and we want to help you walk through that.
Yeah.
So all of that, all those bonuses by themselves are alone valued at $351, but they're free to you if you join Just Dating University. Again, here's another picture of everything you're going to get. You'll get the 9 videos. You'll get the workbook. You'll get the Facebook community. So many good things. The weekly Q&A sessions with Pauline and myself.
Yeah.
So many good things.
For 9 weeks.
Now,
come on.
The investment in this is just $297. And we really want you to focus on the value here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about what you're investing into, this is your future. This is your future family. You all invest more into clothes that you're not going to be wearing a year from now than you do in this. And the friendships that you're getting, the peace of mind, the clarity that you're getting by participating in this group, it's seriously been invaluable. And you all will hear in a little bit some testimonials like the impact that this course has had on other people. Because again, we've been so privileged and honored to do this for a couple of years. This is our first time opening it up to people outside of our immediate circle and outside of our church community. So we want to make sure that this value, that you have that peace, that you're able to either one, you can't put a price, ladies, on the peace that you feel saying yes to a man. You don't want to accept a ring being unsure. That is not fun. And I've unfortunately walked through that with some people before. You want to be so excited. You want to be so peaceful about that day when you do accept someone's proposal to you. And guys, the same thing for you. You don't want to spend all that money and all of that time, proposing to somebody and you're not sure. You really don't want that. All of this, you want to invest more into your marriage than you do into your wedding. Think about that. This is less than what any of y'all will pay for a ring.
Absolutely. So the first 3 couples to join tonight will get this bonus. You'll get a free 1-hour coaching session with Pauline and me. You'll get a free one-on-one coaching session. So you and your partner will be able to speak to us, ask us any questions you have about dating, about the next step, and we will give you so much information in that session. So the first 3 couples to join, go here to this website, justdatinguniversity.com. If you are dating right now and you're interested, you can scan that QR code.
Or you can just type it in, whatever works best for you.
See right there, and you'll get all the information that we just talked about. It'll take you through everything that we have to offer. Remember, the first 3 couples to join will get a free 1-hour coaching session with us. And that, honestly, I don't even know what that's worth. That's worth something crazy. So, singles, we finally got y'all. Introducing Just Dating University Singles Edition. It's still the blueprint for godly dating.
Come on.
But it's intentionally for you. And we're so excited. In 75 days, you will be 100% confident in your ability to choose your next partner well and save time by not dating people who are not God's best for you.
Come on now.
Let me just say.
Who's sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Fellas, where my fellas at? Where my fellas? Let me get my camera. Fellas, how much money have y'all wasted on people who are not God's best for you?
People.
Ladies, I respect y'all too. Y'all be paying money for dudes, buying gifts. How much money have you wasted on somebody that ain't God's best? We don't want you to do that. I remember when I wasted money. I wasted some money, all right? And I can't get that back.
He's still sick about it, if you can't tell.
So, in 75 days, like I said, you're going to be confident in your ability to choose your next partner well, and you will not date people you shouldn't do. Here we go.
Yeah.
So, here's what you get by joining Just Dating University. You're going to get the 9 couple questions or 9 videos that we talked about earlier. So the same 9 videos we're going to offer you. We're also going to give you your own separate Facebook community where you will be able to interact with other singles and learn how to have healthy dating, learn how maybe make some new friends, maybe find a date. I'm not promising that, but there's so many things that you will get just from that Facebook group. We're also still going to have your own separate weekly calls with Pauline and I. Yeah. And we're going to do breakout sessions in that as well. So you'll be able to answer all your questions. We're also going to throw in, and what is this one? You can explain.
Yeah, so you're also going to get the long distance dating tips, because of course a lot of you all are, there's a good chance that you're going to be entering into that. So we want to make sure that you're prepared for that and that you're not scared by long distance dating. You're also going to get your own worksheets to go along with each video. That are reflection questions to help you grow personally in your journey and just take your next steps in your relationship with God. And then you're also going to get the workbook that we created for this event tonight. And the reason for that, that's an exclusive offer. The reason for that is because there's a lot of reflection questions in there, and any of you all who have bought the workbook can attest to how the information in there is designed with singles in mind. So if you already bought it, that's great. You already got it at a discounted price, because I think we gave it to them for $5 and it's from like $25. So you'll still get that if you didn't already purchase it.
Yeah, Matissa said they got the weekly calls for us too. Yes, y'all.
We love y'all.
It's your own separate weekly.
We love y'all. And
it's gonna get real.
Yeah, and I think it's something to be mindful of. Like, we want to make sure that y'all are getting everything that you can.
Yeah, so the investment is just $197. Again, focus on the value. Don't focus so much on the price, because what you're going to get from this course, that's going to take your relationship level it's going to take you to the next level. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, my man Caleb said it. His pocket's still hurting from making the wrong decision. We got to make sure you don't do that.
Yeah, because listen.
He said, I will graduate in Jesus' name. Amen.
Listen, y'all, when you get engaged and it doesn't work out, for my guys, there's no guarantee you're getting that ring back. It's not a guarantee.
Would you have kept my ring?
Probably.
I'm coming to your house.
It definitely, I don't care if you gave that. No, it all depends. Some ladies, especially if the ladies if they're the ones to break off the engagement, sometimes they will give it back. But if the guy is the one to break up, no, you're not getting it back. I will pawn it. I will pay off my loans with it. No. So just think about, the investment and the value. And also for you singles, there's probably a majority of y'all on here, and we love y'all. We're so glad that you're here. If you participate and if you enroll in this, you will be a part of history. We have never offered a course to singles before. So the price is going to increase next time we do this. So we want to make sure that y'all get this exclusive offer. But we are so excited just to see the impact it's going to make on you all, and just giving you clarity. So and we've even talked to some single people who have kind of did the pilot version of this course, and hearing that it gives you vision for how to choose well. I know what I should be looking for and listening for in conversations when I'm on first and second dates because of this material. So we know that's going to be a blessing for y'all.
Yeah, Becca, great question. And we're going to get to questions in just a second. We still have more for y'all, though. So the first 10 people to join tonight will get this bonus. So the first 10 singles to join JDU Singles Edition, we're going to offer you how to navigate sex in your faith in online dating. This is a video that only you guys will have, because some of you may be interested in online dating. How do you do it well? How do you avoid people who are not really saved but saying they saved? We got you. And if you are interested in enrolling, here's the website, same website, justdatinguniversity.com. You can click this QR code to take you to that link.
Yeah.
So, wanted to read some quick testimonials from the past. We want you to see what other people have said about our course, and then we will answer
receipts.
We'll answer all the questions y'all got.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, we have done this for the past couple of years, in couple different formats, couple different novice kind of formats, I'll just call it, our modes. I want to share a couple of the testimonials from that experience. So the first one is from Lola. This one speaks to the research point that we shared earlier about how pre-engagement counseling or coaching can add another layer of security in your relationship. She said the person she was dating, who's actually her husband now, we got to go to their wedding. Them participating in our course allowed her to kind of see that he's bad about it, that he was serious, that she was serious by them showing up every single week. They actually made some really good friends that were in their wedding through our course. So if you're trying to kind of discern, like, okay, this person says they're really into me, but I don't really know. I don't want them to kind of put their money where their mouth is. This course is a way to do that. So that's something to keep in mind if you're in that situation. If you are in a dating relationship similar to Zesty, who's actually engaged to the person she was dating when she went through our group, Zesty shared here that she actually was super encouraged by going through our course. She learned that the problems that her and her now fiance were having is like were normal problems, because sometimes when you go through a relationship you're like, man, are we good, are we okay, like, do we need to break up? And when you get into the course and get into the groups, the group calls, especially every week, you're learning like, man, they have the same issues that we do, we're actually not that bad. So it's a source of health. It's a source of kind of healthy comparison, if you will. And then Cash, who did kind of the expedited pilot version of this course last month or earlier this month with us, shared that it helped him and his girlfriend connect across time zones. He's in East Coast time zone. His girlfriend is actually in California. And some of you all are in that situation, or you will be, where you're dating somebody long distance. And that's super encouraging, I hope, for some of you on here to know, like, okay, well, I can meet somebody who lives across the state or across the country, or even for those of you who live in the UK or you live in Canada, like, kind of opens up those geographical boundaries for you. And our course does work for you in that situation. So there's really no excuse. We've thought of almost every situation, and we want to make sure to serve everybody.
Yeah. So start throwing your questions in the chat. We'll be able to answer that. And like we promised, here is the free guide, 10 questions you must ask yourself before you get married. Whether you're interested in JDU or not, we still want you to get this free guide, because it's honestly going to bless your life. It's going to help you figure out what 10 questions you should ask yourself to make sure you're ready to take that next step.
We've already got some people signing up, so we're super excited. Keep it coming. But yeah, let us know. I can't read the thing.
I'll read it.
Okay. But yeah, put your questions.
I'm leaving this QR code up for a little bit, but we'll start answering your questions. Somebody said, how long is it? So yes, it's 9 weeks. It's really 75 days, because we're going to have orientation next week.
Yeah.
So you have until, I saw somebody else ask this too, how long do we have to sign up?
Yeah.
You have until next Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know what that date is on top of my head, but you have until next Thursday
You have until May 5th. Cinco de Mayo at 12 p.m. 11:59.
Yeah, so you have until May 5th to sign up for this course. We'll give you guys a week, and orientation starts next week, y'all. Like we going in. And if you thought tonight was good, like JDU is just it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So I will start looking for other questions. If you have more, you can definitely start throwing them in. Let me look for some questions.
Let me see if I can pull it up on here.
No, it's gonna be too much noise.
Oh, okay. All right.
Shout out to Matiza. She already purchased or enrolled. She already enrolled in JDU. Like, respect. Is orientation live? Yes, Sonia. Orientation is live, but we are going to be. It'll be recorded, so you will be sent it if for some reason you miss it. But orientation will be live for JDU.
Yeah.
Matt said, "Let me get my first day fit ready." You're funny. Matt is single, y'all. I'm sorry, bro.
Matt is. You need to talk to me before you think about talking to Matt.
He's single. I just want the ladies to know, like, you know, somebody may be in there. I don't know. I'm looking for y'all questions.
Yes. Okay. So someone asked how many weeks it was. 9 weeks. Is orientation live? Oh. Okay. So some of you all may be wondering if this is the first time we're going to, or it will we'd be offering JDU again? The answer is we hope so. It's really, like you said, it's our first time opening it up to really anybody. So we want to make sure. I can't read that.
So I saw another question. Caleb asks, do we pay that up front or can we do a payment plan? So if you go if you go to the website, all of that is outlined. So you can either pay up front right now if you want to, or there is a payment option to spread it out through 2 months. So this month and next month. So you'll see that if you go to justdatinguniversity.com.
But yes, there is.
Thank you, Cash. He said this is an insane amount of quality content for under $300. I'm glad you think that, because we think that, like, we worked really hard on this to make it something that is valuable for you.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's going to go really well. So this is our first time, and we want to keep the enrollment at a pretty good size. So the price may not always be the price next time. So keep that in mind. Morgan asked, earlier you mentioned counseling before engagement. How long should you be dating before you start the counseling? That's a good question. I would say it really depends. So it depends on how fast you're trying to get married and like kind of where you're at in your journey. So if you just start dating somebody for a month, and you all are like, yep, we're ready. We know all we need to know and we're ready to get married, or get engaged, then like that's the time that you can kind of start. But I would wait until you both are on the same page about it. It's not necessarily a set of time, like 6 months, 9 months, whatever the case is. It's more about a stage that you're at in your relationship where you both want to get married to each other. And before you start buying rings and kind of setting dates, I would pursue counseling.
Yeah, Morgan asked, or coaching, what's the difference? That's a great question. To me, the difference between coaching and counseling, I feel like counseling a lot of times, sometimes it will go deep into like almost therapy type issues that you may have, where coaching is more so someone helping you take the next step in your relationship. So like when you work, if someone were to work with us, you are going to be able to get coaching. We're going to give you the next step that y'all should take in that relationship.
Yeah,
I just don't want the feedback. So let me know if that was clear, Morgan. If not, we will.
Counseling is usually with like a certified counselor, somebody who has a degree, versus coaching can be regular people like us.
Any more questions? We would love to answer. If there's no more questions, then we'll end the night for y'all. What's the difference in the type of questions / combos to have in pre-engagement versus premarital counseling? Great question, Julissa. Hopefully I said your name correctly. So premarital counseling focuses more on marriage and like the actual day-to-day of marriage sometimes. And like what I mean by that is, I remember when we were in premarital counseling, somebody asked us, so who's going to take out the trash, or who's going to do like certain things that you really only talk about once you're really about to get married. Whereas pre-engagement counseling, to me, focuses more on, are you ready, one, to take the next step into marriage, but then also like, is this person somebody you want to get engaged to? Because once you get engaged, that's a new level of commitment where you're saying, I am confident that this is the person I want to, take the next step with. Because most people, once they get engaged, like we said earlier, are not going to break up. So that pre-engagement counseling is when you're going to be able to, before the pressure of the ring, figure out, is this person best? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the question is, what's the difference between pre-engagement counseling versus premarital counseling? Yeah, I mean, pre-engagement there's just less pressure. Pre-engagement counseling,
that's a good point.
Is also harder to find because it's not as common, and I think only like 30% of couples even do premarital counseling, which is so sad. To make such a a big decision on your own, or without any kind of like insight. Just the same way, like I don't know how many people y'all talk to when you. Before you decided what college you would go to, but I'm sure it was a lot of people. Your parents, you talk to your guidance counselor, coaches, teachers, whatever, and we don't even do that when it comes to, who we're going to get married, when we're going to get married, those types of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I see we have another question. Heather said, the $5 workbook that I purchased for this call tonight, are y'all going to run through that with us tonight? Or do we just go through it on our own? So yeah, that workbook, you will go through that on your own. So everything we taught tonight will be in there, but then there's going to be some additional things that you'll be able to work out with yourself and ask questions. Now, if you join JDU and you have questions about it, we definitely will be able to answer that. That's the benefit of having us in the one-on-one sessions, the weekly Q&A sessions, I should say. You'll be able to ask us any question you have about dating. So hopefully that was clear, Heather. Thank you for the question. But let me just say that workbook's good.
Yeah, it's really like kind of an individual like reflection type of thing because everyone's answers are going to be different, and responses are going to be different there.
Okay, Matt. Is Matt in the group? Are there any other questions? Otherwise, we'll call it a night. But we want to make sure we answer all y'all questions. So we'll wait.
Even if you asked them earlier. So I was going to try to like run through.
I went through it.
Oh, okay.
Man, we're so grateful for everybody that joined us tonight. If you did not get a chance to get the free guide, here is the free guide. 10 questions you must ask yourself before marriage. I'll put the QR code up one more time. So Nicole asked, would you all consider future JDU programming with a mixture of married, dating, and single people? So, Nicole, I'm assuming you're asking, will we have JDU for people who are, like, everybody will be in one melting pot? I'm assuming that's what you're asking. If you could follow up and just clarify. But I think you're asking, will we have one JDU where married, dating, and single people all will be in it together? The answer is most likely no, unless we get, like, an outstanding feedback that that's what people want. We probably won't, just because our heart is to truly have separate spaces. Because one thing that we don't like is, especially in the Christian space, we feel like a lot of people disregard dating. Yeah. Like, it's either information in the church for married people or information for single people. And we really have a heart to create a space for dating couples where it's just focused on them and just them. So for that reason, we probably will keep it separate. Yeah. And then we'll probably have a separate space for the singles as well.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I don't know if anybody's ever been a part of one of those groups, or like a connect group or a small group that has everybody together, but we have, and we've actually found that the dating people are usually the quietest ones in those spaces and those environments because they feel very unseen. They feel very like, well, I'm not here and I'm not there, so I don't really know if I fit in here. And that's the exact opposite of what we want. We want dating people to come into a space where they're like, yes, that's me. Yes, I resonate with that. Yes, that speaks to me. Versus like, especially when you're married, it's a completely different game. There's a lot of things you're doing that single and dating people are not doing or shouldn't be doing. So the way you talk about sex, you're talking about money, you're talking about a lot of things in your married space, especially if people have been married for like 30, 40, 50 years. It's completely different than when you are, when you're single. So we really want to give a space for dating people to grow, because we find a lot of people actually fall back and struggle in the dating times, kind of like focusing in on like, a marginalized community.
Yeah. So we just got a really good question. And I don't want to butcher your name.
It's Ellie.
Oh.
Hey, Ellie.
Thank you, because I was about to struggle. So how you doing, Ellie? Do couples need to sign up and pay for JDU separately? Great question. Yes, we do want everybody that's a couple that joins JDU to pay separately. So you would pay the $297 yourself. And the reason for that is, one, we're not married yet, so we don't want people. It gets a little messy when you start combining finances sometimes, or trying to figure out ways to pay it. And another reason is the access to it. So if, say, you didn't buy it, but your partner did, only they would be able to get the access to the Facebook community, or get for the Q&A videos, calls, or the workbook. So we want everybody to be able to get that on their own.
Also, from being honest with you, a lot of people break up during our course. I don't want to say a lot, but some people,
not a lot.
People break up during our course, and like, that's okay if that's what you need to do. But we want you to be able to do that as cleanly as possible. We don't want it to be like, we're not trying to set people up for like separation and divorce and stuff like that. So if that should happen, it's better just to keep things separate. Not saying that that's going to happen, to any of you, but it could. And it just gets weird. if you pay together and you're sharing an account, and like, yeah. And we also want to be able to, if necessary, like put you in the singles group if you choose to, if you break up, whatever the case is.
Yeah. So Matiza had a really good question. For JDU Singles Edition, the weekly calls, are those going to be an opportunity for Q&A? Yes. Those calls are only going to be Q&A, essentially. Like, we're going to ask you beforehand, hey, what questions do y'all have? And we're going to go through every question. And they'll be anonymous too. So if you want it to be, so you don't have to like worry about people knowing that you asked a certain question. But yes, any question you want, raw, unfiltered.
Yeah, we're really excited about those because in the past when we've done it, we've actually taught the lesson and done the Q&A in the same like hour and a half block. But now that you all have the lessons recorded, the idea is like if anyone's ever taken an online class, that you watch the lessons in advance, and then when you get on the call, that's our time to have dialogue. So we do ask that you watch the videos before you join the call, as much as you possibly can, every week. And then when we get on together, that'll be all time to kind of hash it through and maximize our time together, and not play catch up with like the video and the lesson. So
this question wasn't asked, but some people may be wondering. So we have 9 lessons, and those are going to be spread out through 9 weeks. So every Sunday, a new video will be released. So like the first lesson will be released the first Sunday, and then the next Sunday, the second lesson. And the reason we're doing that is because we don't want to just release all the content and then you binge it and you don't actually do the work. The true value in this course is the work that you do after you watch the videos, after you have the Q&As. And we want to give you space, 1 week of space to be able to truly do that work. We have another question. Job Views. It says, you guys said that the person that you are dating is not yours until marriage. Many times your partner wants to feel like you're theirs, so they feel, in quotes she put, the commitment. How do you fix that mindset?
So they feel the commitment.
So how do you fix that mindset? I think
in the partner or in you?
I don't know if he's asking like, is it in the partner? Is it in you? But I'll answer from both. So if it's in you, the Bible says that we have to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And I mentioned this earlier during the webinar, but there's a lot of people that come into Christian dating with worldly mindsets. So if someone feels like, I want you to be my person, like they don't have that right to you yet. Just if we're just talking biblically. And now I totally get that people feel that. Like when me and Pauline were dating, there was a sense that I felt that like this is my girlfriend, and like there is some element of that. But at the end of the day, like she wasn't my wife, she wasn't my spouse, and I had to be careful not to treat her like that in order to honor God in that biblical way. So if that is something that you personally struggle with, it's a matter of one, praying and asking God, Lord, can you help renew my mind? And 2, just making a decision. Like every time I'm starting to feel like this person is mine, the Bible tells us to take every thought captive. So you need to start, when you have those thoughts, like, no, like this person is not my spouse. They're my girlfriend, and I'm going to treat them as such. And you have that authority as a Christian to be able to declare that and be honest and pray about that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would even add to, babe, like everything you said is so good, but I would also add to like boundaries. And that's lesson 2 actually in the first module. So the 3rd week together, we're going to go through that in JDU is boundaries. What do boundaries look like? Emotion. We talk about all the different types of boundaries there are: emotional, physical. We talk about finances as a boundary. We talk about time, which is another reason why we're having separate JDU payments for the couples, is like those financial boundaries. I mean, if you want to gift, my ladies on here, because a lot of guys do not want to invest in their relationship. Even when this was free, we had a lot of guys who just did not want to get on.
Red flag.
Anyway, that's, Tim's. Yep. But anyway, if you want to purchase it or like gift your partner, that's fine. That's totally fine. And you want to cash up them the money, like if the Lord leads you to do that, like that's fine. But that also kind of shows you like you can't drag people, down.
Yeah, I would be very careful of that. I would really only do that if like they just
hit hard times.
They just can't afford it.
because they don't want to do it.
Yeah, not because they just don't want to do it. If they don't want to do it, you need to have a serious conversation, especially if it's the guy. Like, hey, why don't you want to do this? And learn their heart, because JDU and everything we taught tonight, whether you do JDU or not, we want you to be somebody that is intentionally pursuing wisdom on how to have a healthy relationship. So if they don't want to intentionally do that, to me, that's a problem.
Because also the question would be like, when you do get married and you need to go to counseling, that's a lot of things people feel like, oh, if you go to counseling or coaching, there's something wrong. And I mean, that's not true. Michael Jordan was coached his entire career. All great athletes, great professionals are coached. There's corporate coaches. To be great in marriage and relationships, you do need a coach. Like you're not going to do it on your own. Nobody does. We don't do it on our own. Nobody who you see is doing well and like winning in life does it on their own. So all that to say, it is kind of a red flag. I mean, if you're a girl on here and you want to do JDU, I would hop on and just purchase it myself. And like, you can still participate even if your partner doesn't want to, and you can still be a part of the couple's portion of JDU. And if your partner doesn't join, but I think it would be, something to pray about over the next week, is to ask the Lord to move on their behalf. But anyway, back to the question, boundaries. To the person who asked this, Joe Views,
they said we answered it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I would say is mental, emotional boundaries. So you feel like, oh, this is my person, and they're not, then that's a boundary thing. Just like I don't walk up to somebody on the street and take their wallet and say, oh, this is mine. No, it's not.
Yeah. Shout out to, as I say, Janet. Janet, thank you for enrolling in Just Dating University. Shout out to...
I'm not sure who's... Oh, wait, let me see what their name is.
Yeah. Shout out to Morgan.
Welcome.
To Just Dating University. We're so excited to have y'all.
Yeah.
Now, Becca, yes, thank you so much for the kind words. Honestly, it's an answered prayer for us.
I'm excited for this. Sorry, guys. I can't...
This is an answered prayer for us to be able to have this and create this, because this is something we wish we had when we were dating.
Praise God.
And we truly want to be able to add value to every single person. And again, if you can't afford this right now, like, that is okay. This is something that we are going to offer again in the future. But, and we still have our YouTube, we still have our weekly podcast. Like, there's plenty of free value we have, but this course is really going to take people to the next level. Can we get those links just one more time? Absolutely.
Can we put it in the chat?
You can put it in the chat, but I'm going to put it here as well.
Which links?
Hold on. I'm sure she's talking about JDU. So if this is what you're talking about, here is the link, justdatinguniversity.com. You can scan the QR code as well. That's a little easier for some people.
I never appreciated QR codes until like COVID. When you go to restaurants and they're like, we don't have a menu. You got to use a QR code.
Rachel said your last point was so good.
Praise God. I don't remember what I said, but praise the Lord.
Yeah. Any more questions? If not, then we will close it down for tonight. But we do want to make sure we give you space to ask questions. Yeah. Thank you, Becca. Yes, in the description box. Love that.
Of course.
Nia, our pleasure.
Joining.
Y'all, we love this. We love this.
Yeah, y'all will be getting the recording to this as well.
Yes.
So if you want to like kind of watch it back or send it out to people, you totally can do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, if you're excited about this and you know your friends or somebody in your community would benefit from this but wasn't on the call, this is open. So this is open for the next week. So please feel free to share. Let as many people as you want know, because we want to help bless them as well. Thank you, Matiza. I'm so glad that your heart is full. We're grateful. We're so grateful.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Looks like we don't have any more questions. Thank you all for the kind words, for the comments. Thank you for rocking with us tonight. What do you want me to do?
They can't see us.
Thank you for rocking with us tonight. We truly hope that whether you enroll or not, you decide from this day forward, you're going to continue to invest in your future relationship. And we truly believe that's going to help you unlock, your dream relationship. We'll see y'all.
Bye.